we're going to have a few more jump cuts than normal, and this isn't going to look as clean as it should. Not that I ever did, because I don't really have a computer at the moment. I'll take my glasses off because you keep seeing my phone's reflection in it. So, on today's episode, we're going to look at ghosts. What are their rules? Where do they come from? If you zip yourself in a Faraday bag, can they get to you? And if you die in a Faraday bag, do you become a ghost? The world may never know. If you're in the Faraday bag and someone lets you out, the ghost you, do you go to heaven, hell, or are you just stuck? Questions that do not need to be answered or asked. First, we're going to ask, what is a ghost? A ghost is probably just a translucent or shadowy figure. It's just bullet points. So I remember to stay on track because I got the ADHD. See, translucent or shadowy figures, that means like the shit you see out of the corner of your eye, or like in the Ghostbusters movie, the librarian, although she was a full lifelike apparition. Like, those are the ghosts that people claim that they see it, like, where is that? Tombstone. Great movie, by the way. Probably should watch it again. Then we got invisible presence. That's like that feeling where you feel like you're getting watched. But that's also just a psychological feeling, probably left over from when we were in, like, caveman times. Because if you ever let your guard down back then, that's when something got you. Either your neighbor got you, the saber-toothed tiger got you, or just walking off into a hole got you. Yeah, the infections also got you. Let's get back into this. Invisible presence did that. Light orbs of light, mist, and even animal shapes. Wait a second. Orbs of light? Aren't those the things that are only caught on film? Aren't those like dust apparitions in your camera? Or they ghosts in the machine? The ghosts in the machine. Common reasons they haunt are... We're not there yet. Common reasons for a haunt are unfinished business, sudden or violent death. Man, there would be a lot of ghosts if that was true. Attachment or to a place, person, object, seeking revenge. Wait a second. I ran those together. Attachment to a place or an object is usually when people are like, well, there's a ghost here because so-and-so died without knowing they died. And how do you not know you died? Like, I guess if you're asleep, well, that still don't make sense. Because your whole, like, in theory, your whole existence changes. Like, I believe in reincarnation. So, I'm going to die, right? And then I'm going to be sucked into the cosmic void. My deeds will be weighed. They're not super great. Then I'm going to be judged. And based on that judgment, I will be reborn in either a hell, which, if you think about Buddhism, those are probably just different planets. Or I'll be reborn as a human being that's also a Buddhist, because Buddhists are always reborn as Buddhists. Fun fact. Seeking revenge. Who the hell is seeking revenge after you die? It's already too late. You ain't gonna start what you call... Oh, I'm just playing Babel like an idiot today. That's my favorite game. But, you see, you're not going to be able to do anything. Oh, I opened your cabinet doors. Ooh, I got you now. It's a silly reason for it. You're looking to exact revenge on your violent death, which caused your spirit to linger, so you have unfinished business. Those are all things that are tied together. Now, let's see. This belief appears. Oh, wait a second. Or simply realizing they're dead, or not realizing they're dead. Again, that comes back to the attachment to a person, place, or object. I love my wife so much I can't leave her. Oh God, don't bang my best friend. He's a horrible person. I'm a horrible person. You should upgrade. Oh no. Now, this belief appears in nearly every culture, from Mesopotamian epics to Japanese yuri. Mexican Dia de los Muertos ancestry. Mexican Day of the Dead. I don't know. European medieval Renaissance and most Western ghost stories. I love a good ghost story. I'm actually very partial to horror films myself. What was this one? Not super found footage films, but my favorite found footage film is I forget the name of it. They go into an asylum, and as they're investigating, things get way more intense and way more intense. And eventually, like, shit starts hitting the fan, and ghosts start appearing out of everywhere. People start dying. And if you ask me, that just is going to draw more attention to the place. And if they're supposed to be based in reality, one, who found the footage without going into the place? And two, this one is, why doesn't everyone know that this place is fucked? Because people keep dying and keep going missing there without any actual recourse. Now, that don't make any sense to me. So, now we're going to get into reasons for ghosts, because this whole thing is about the rules for ghosts. I guess I should have mentioned that sooner. Now, for the next part, the reasons for ghosts in spirituality. Many faiths see ghosts differently. Oh, by the way, I had Rock help me compile this, because it's real hard to decide what counts as a rule for ghosts when reading specific, like, religious manuscripts, ghost stories, etc. So I wanted a little help. Let's see what else Rock has to say. In religion and spirituality, many faiths see ghosts differently. Some, like Christianity, Islamic, and Hindus, interpret apparent ghosts as demons, angels, and souls in purgatory needing prayers. Well, the demons make sense, because those religions all have, like, possession mythologies, and rules for possession and all of that. And a lot of ghosts in stories that's more like abduct somebody. And they take hold of them spiritually, like a symbiote. And as for angels tend to appear to people to tell them something, give them some sort of revelation. And in that I can see where a ghost and an angel would kind of be parallel, but not quite. Now let's look at the last one. Or souls in purgatory in need of prayer. Purgatory, isn't that its own place? I know unbaptized babies in the Catholic mythos go to purgatory. And that, if they're looking for prayers and are haunting you, aren't they just crawling around going, meh, meh, help me? That just seems silly. Now, from the scientific perspective, oh no, we're not there yet. Other accepted themes as real departed spirits can visit or linger, ancestors' veneration, or many Asian and African traditions, e.g., ancestors' veneration in many Asians. So you're gonna get haunted by your grandparents and their grandparents? I don't know if I'd really like that. Grandma, I'm trying to use the bathroom. Please get out of here. You're a disappointment, Chris. I know I'm a disappointment. The C in FBC stands for Chris. I just doxed myself. Oh well. Catholics, for example, don't rule out souls appearing by divine permission, but warns against seances or occult contact. They rule out seances and occult contact. Well, yeah, my mom was convinced a Ouija board was evil. It was a way of letting spirits in. I don't know so much because it's created by Hasbro and they mass produce them. It is not like they have a wizard on hand going, whoosh, ghosts in the board, whoosh, ghosts in the board, whoosh, ghosts in the board. Let's see. Scientific perspective. Mainstream science says there's no solid evidence that ghosts exist, supernatural events, or repeatable experiments have proved. No repeatable experiments have proven spirits of the dead return or interact with physical world. Ghost hunting is generally considered pseudoscience because claims can't be reliably tested. Now, this is true. There used to be the James Randi Foundation had a $1 million reward for anyone who could prove that they had supernatural abilities. No one won it because they couldn't do it in a repeatable, controlled environment. Now, does this rule out the fact that there are ghosts? No. They're just highly unlikely. Because you can't find one set of rules for them, as you just saw there. We haven't even got into the actual interaction rules. Now, back to it. Instead, researchers explain most ghost experiences through natural causes, psychological factors such as pareidolia, seeing faces, patterns, and random things, like the Jesus in Toast, or the face this guy saw in the door. I once saw some guy say he saw the Mary, the Mother of God, in a door and set up an altar to it. You see a face or a word in water that's spilled on the floor. That's all pareidolia. It is not going to be proof of existence unless I can spill the bucket of water in the same spot, even at the same point in time and day, and the same thing happens on a repeatable timeline. Now, people tend to feel like I'm discounting their experiences. I am not discounting their experiences. I believe you believe your experience. I just need to see it for myself. And if you want it to meet scientific scrutiny, it needs to meet scientific scrutiny. Okay. Next suggestion: false memories, grief-induced hallucinations, or sleep paralysis. God, I hate sleep paralysis. I have pretty severe sleep apnea, and I have to use a CPAP. There was this one time I was sleeping, and I was staring up at the ceiling, and all of a sudden a thunderstorm just rolled right in my house. There was clouds, lightning strikes, raindrops. It's because you experience stuff like that, hypnagogic hallucinations, because your brain is partially asleep and it's dreaming. That's why you see the Slender Man in the middle of or in the corner of your room, or the man in the hat, coat, whatever. Now, if we go back to suggestion, that is your friend lives in a house, right? And he starts telling you the story of everyone who's died there, and all of a sudden you start having paranormal experiences, even though he's lived in that house for years and you've never experienced anything. What was the other one? And false memories. False memories are real easy to induce. You just have to ask a question in the right way, and somebody will remember something wrong. It's because your brain doesn't automatically record memories the way you think it is. It's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a solid recording. It's not a recording at all. Your brain remembers certain things. It doesn't remember the full image most of the time in most people. I have to make that a caveat because there are those who have eidetic, photographic, and those weirdos who can remember the day of the week down to the letter, and autobiographical memory. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, so you end up with, like, every time you access a memory, your brain brings back what information it thought was relevant, and it will make little alterations. Like, Jimmy on Sunday wore red shoes, and 3 weeks later you're convinced he wore gray shoes. It's just not a real memory. Let's see. Then we have environmental causes. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a bitch. It will cause you to hallucinate. Infrasound, electromagnetic fields messaging the brain. That is actually weird because we live in a society surrounded by electromagnetic fields, like everywhere you go. And some frequencies of electromagnetic fields will mess with your brain. That's part of the reason why that one guy was able to make that helmet that gave you religious experiences. And mold exposure. Mold will make you hallucinate. Even carbon dioxide buildup in a building. Neurological links, like Alzheimer's will give you hallucinations. Schizophrenia will give you hallucinations. A lot of that stuff, it's real easy to mess with the human brain, and it's not super cool. Then you have, excuse me. So now you found yourself as a ghost. And what can and can't you do? The rules of physics are about to change. Okay. Common rules include, in folklore, unfinished businesses, trauma, and violent deaths. These ghosts usually linger because they died suddenly, violently, in unjustifiably by suicide, and with regrets. They can't move on until that business is resolved, meaning that they can't move on until they figure out what they did, how they fucked up, and where they fucked up, so they can then fix it. I don't know how you're going to fix it if you can't touch anything. Tied to a location or object, many are bound to the place that they died. Many people died in hospitals. Well, that's going to suck for the hospital. A lot of hospitals actually have like a thing where, like a message on a board somewhere, where they're trying to prove whether or not there are out-of-body experiences. And if you can come back with that message, you help them out. They rarely travel unless something pulls them. So these people are stuck in one place, like in the show Ghosts, actually. They're all bound to that one property. If they try to leave the property, they just bounce right back into the property. Except for Pete, who has the ability to go wherever he wants. Now, limited interactions with physical objects. In many traditions, ghosts can't directly touch or move objects. They appear as apparitions, cold spots, smells, sounds, feelings of dread. They also can mess with your batteries for some reason, which is why you should carry a Faraday bag. Faraday bags stop electrical magnetic interference with electronics. So, visible under specific circumstances, often appearing at night, on anniversaries of their death, during storms, or in limited places. Some only manifest to certain people, family members, the guilty, and psychics. So, they only show up to certain people, which is also very inconvenient for science, because if you see a ghost and I can't see the ghost, then how are we going to know the ghost is real and not just in your head? Boom. Now, salt, iron, fire, or religious items repel them. Salt, circles, weapons, iron tools, holy water, crosses, prayers, burning their remains can ward off or banish them. Now, the iron is because in mythology, iron, silver, gold, only pure metals, nothing that's like an alloy, can affect the undead or unholy. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head why those items in particular, but who knows? They can possess or influence the living. They can possess or influence the living, but they can't touch objects. So this is where the rules are starting to get a little wonky. So if you can't touch something, but you can influence the living, and dogs, cats, most animals are believed to see undead evil spirits, demons, etc. We'll get into demons someday. They can possess or influence the living. Very common rules in horror movies. These are tropes that are that horror writers tend to follow to subvert. They can walk through walls, doors, but usually not fall through the floor. If they fell through the floor, they get stuck at the planet core. And I guess that could just be hell. Yeah, that kind of tracks. They're just all stuck down there in one little ball. Ball of hot molten lead. Anyway. They can't appear, disappear at will. They can appear, disappear at will, but often only when dramatic. They usually can't leave the place they are haunting. They can possess somebody, or they haunting moves with an object. EMF spikes, cold spots, flickering lights, whispering, moving objects, classical signs of a presence. Now, in horror movies, I've never understood, like, why certain things follow certain rules and certain things in the same movie follow completely different rules. But really good horror movie. Stars Tony Shalhoub. 13 Ghosts. Love that movie. Anyway, mirrors, photos, photographs, recordings capture them better than the naked eye, or shows signs the living can't see. That's another thing. Even in like real life, like you can't hear a ghost, but you can record an EVP. What? Or cameras will pick up the floating orbs, but you couldn't see them with your naked eye. Why? Why does that even make sense? Why are those things what you need to do? So the ghost can whisper into a tape recorder, but not my ear. Why is it that ghosts can only say certain things? Why is it ghosts tend to mumble a lot? Did they forget the language that they speak? If you died speaking French and are in an English-speaking country, do you speak only French or what? So, let's see. They feed on fear and emotions, get stronger as the movie drags on. That's unfortunately very true in movies. You can't kill what's already dead. So, like, most weapons won't work on them. So, the question you ask is, are ghosts real? I don't know. I would like them to be. I would really like them to be. That's all. And thank you if you watched this long. Next week, we'll be doing Baba Yaga. Have a good one. Bye.